So you wouldn't pull over Ma and Pa Kettle and give them a drug test because you know they're not on drugs.
Well,
so
you assume they're not, but I mean, these days, who knows?
Well, that's right. But so when we first started drug testing, if someone looked like a druggie, we'd give them a drug test, he'd go positive. Next person would pull over, not a druggie, wouldn't test him. Next person would pull over, he looks like a druggie, we'd test him. 9 out of 10 people we were testing were on cannabis or methamphetamines. So then we got a directive from the top.
Are you listening to this?
Stop testing as many drug abusers because the statistics are saying 9 out of every 10 people on the road are on drugs. So then we were told to drug test people who looks like they're just normal citizens and not on drugs, so that statistics would come back and the government didn't look so bad.
Right. But
This is coming from...
Is cocaine eliminated because, you know, normal
police
people
officer
actually who might have a bit more money perhaps are using cocaine, and the people you say that look like druggies perhaps aren't using cocaine?
Well, we think, you ask any current serving member, and I'm still, friendly with a lot of members, they don't want the facts. They don't want statistics. They might be worried about themselves getting caught.
This is what has to come out.
We were catching too many,
stop.
And the government was worried it looked too bad.
Well,
as bad life choices I made.
The government is very sensitive to crime stats, in particular crime stats which go up and not down. They like ones to go down, not ones that go up. But the point is, Stacey, this is what I don't understand. Like when drink driving was the issue in the 80s, and that's when we first made
Sorry, I don't want to just bomb the Tom Elliots and go, hey, you can listen to 3AW through here. Hang on, I'll be back. What a coincidence. That guy, that person's name was Stacey. Coincidence. If you knew the messages I've been getting just the last few days off my cousin Stacey, you would probably be. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, so here we have it. A brave ex-member, and there would be heaps of brave members. Now, which is why I'm doing what I've done. Because, yes, I made some poor life choices. Yes, I was addicted. Yes, I did some mostly petty, non-violent crime. But I still did some dumb things that I needed to be 100%. While I was homeless, I stole stuff to feed my drug addiction. Yes, definitely. But it doesn't take away from the fact what I was exposed to. And this is my whole point all along. Because you have to be exposed to it. Now, how are you going to be exposed to it? You're either going to be exposed to it by being one of their own, where you can't say anything because you'll get the Simon Illingworth treatment, or you just go along with it. You've got your life to live. I've said it 1,000 times. The amount of times I'd see decent, normal people rolling their eyes. The nth degree of that were the prison officers, mostly senior ones, would come up, Michael, I just want you to know personally, I don't agree with what they're doing to you. That was when they were trying to drive me insane with the initial weaponized misuse of AI chatbot technology at a GEO, that's a private run prison in Sale, because of what happened at the GEO run prison at Ravenhall. My point is, here's another member, which you just heard then on this same little mini podcast, whatever they're called, post. Another person who's been exposed to it, who's been, however they were in the system. It's a very important system. These are important departments where people's lives get lost if it's not run properly. And explaining exactly the same thing as what happened in the Daniel Andrews bike boy scandal. A police officer is called off. A police officer is having their strings pulled, so all they want to do is enforce the law. No problem, you jaywalked, right? Nah, I don't care if you were running late. I don't care if the buzzer didn't work. You jaywalked, I'm going to charge you with jaywalking. You can explain that to the judge. That's our job. Or that's a police officer's job. That's all they want to do. They don't want to be dragged into, hey, can you like stop arresting so many people, please? Hey, can you, no, Jacinda Ardern's not getting good. Look, Daniel Andrews might get voted out if you like, please, can you not arrest so many like migrant students next time? Okay, it's not looking good for us, okay? Oh, I don't care if they're stealing off, I don't care. Just please, okay? Gaza, don't you go near, listen, from the river to the sea. No, don't you, what? Look, just let police be police. That's it. There's more proof of police officers, of system members being told what to do by people on a political agenda. It's madness. And when you've been exposed to it and seen it, you can't, I actually see it as my responsibility to try and call it out. Why? Because what they do is, say you're Wayne Carey and you try and call out some things you've been exposed to. What they try and do is they try and cancel you. So they'll go after you, they'll catch you out, you know, walking into toilets, into a unisex toilet, and they'll say, are you having sex with her? It's irrelevant anyway. He's a grown man. But they'll go after you and try and cancel it. They'll try and cancel you if you've got something that they can take from you. Well, I haven't got that. I see, that's why I see it as my responsibility, because to put it on them, what are you going to do? You've done it to me for 10 years. You've whispered in the ear, oh, I've written a book. Why do you think I owned it? Why do you think I wrote the book? I owned it because they were always using my drug addiction and my petty criminality against me, trying to cancel me because I dared question them. So why do you think I wrote the book? Why do you think I put it all out there? To remove that power from them. That's literally, it's disgusting, right? But that's, I've experienced it. I've seen what they try and do, which means they're trying to hide something, girlfriend. There's something sinister going on at a government level in the state of Victoria. You know, come on. These are people's lives. And that was the worst part of it. When I, through silly choices and drug addiction, I ended up being the peer, hanging around, literally complex cases. I mean, these people are generational drug addict, street sex workers. Like, it's a complex case. And they see no problem with a government, police officer, doesn't matter, they're still government, using them in the most degrading of degrading ways. Here, go and drive these hidden cameras. What's that? Oh no, what, you need it for intel to try and solve a drug dealing ring? No drug dealer worth arresting would like even bother hanging around these like people, because they, you know, they know that. So what are you doing it for? What have you got it in your arsenal for? What are you doing it to these girls for? Because you can lord the power over them. That's what it comes down to. Like, what? No drug dealer worth arresting, worth spending resource after resource, is going to fall for that old chestnut of weaponized, you know, a sex offender driving a hidden camera. It's just not going to happen, ever. It's not like, you're not going to get El Chapo like that. They know this. So why have you still got a drug addicted sex worker in your arsenal? What are you doing that to? Because you want to lord the power over them. That's why. You want to lord the power over them and play with people's lives. It is disgusting to have experienced. And then when you've got a magistrate who is in one of those well-known law families, going, oh yeah, boasting about it, like full complicit, well aware of the situation we were dealing with, well aware of the level of harassment, well aware of the weaponized sex offences, and so yeah, well, I used to wear a uniform, and well aware of some of the abusive things I would say directed to them personally. I can even remember there was this one Bart, and they're listening in through the weaponized cameras they're abusing. So, and She goes, oh, well, you know, what do you think Bart would think? Well, who cares? You're supposed to be using surveillance equipment to solve crimes, not to get at people, not to then broadcast what is being said through those surveillance equipment around the office. Who cares what's being said? That's what you paid the big bucks for. To rise above it, not to go, oh, geez, I don't like that. Hang on, that was a bit politically incorrect. Right, better, excuse me, Mari, can you believe this guy said something like this about Ellen DeGeneres? Oh, I can't believe it. Like, that's just terrible. That's not what surveillance equipment is for. It's just totally abhorrent. And then when you use it, when you're using it or abusing it to drive your little, that's not enough. It's not enough for them just to weaponize a sex offense against a person. They then want to reach through the surveillance equipment with the misuse of weaponized chatbot technology coming through, piping 24/7 chatter that they could never achieve without the use of AI. And they think even though people have been skittled down a Burke Street Mall because of it, even though brave first responders have had an axe smashed over their heads nearly, even though people have been stabbed, even though there's a damn good chance 4 brave police officers were killed because of it, they still cannot see one problem with it. They're still like, yeah, well, one of them, I swear to God, one of them suggested that the person who ended up lashing out violently and stabbing someone would have done that anyway. So by us doing this, putting people under pressure with this head doer of a AI technology, we get to test how they would react, whether they've got violent tendencies in. Are you kidding? Oh, whoops, sorry, just got another person stabbed. Oh, you know, just on the one-off chance somebody's like got an AI technology bot doing your head in. Oh, you know, we just wanted to test, see, like, if you were pushed to like Guantanamo Bay limits, would you lash out violently? Like, yeah, literally that was said to me. That's how toxic it's become. That's how damaged it's become. Now, why? I'll tell you why. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Because they police themselves. Because things like an OPI investigation, going back to 2007, 8, 9, that period, was not allowed to run its course. Now, what happens when people don't get held to account, when people don't get, like when justice is not served, which is why we have a justice system, when justice is not served, no precedent is set, no example is set. You know, when you hear judges go, look, no, we have to set an example for the public so as that they don't drive like a maniac killing people, and even though you were a great footballer, you entertained millions, you still made a mistake, we're sentencing you to 9 years imprisonment. You still have situations like that for a reason. Well, that's not happening at a Victorian government level. In fact, the dead opposite is happening. What they have to avoid people like Daniel Andrews from getting embarrassed and being in a position that he can't control the situation. So, oops, oh damn, my high-ranking police have done something and that's going to end up being a public disaster and I'm going to end up voted out because of a decision that I couldn't control. The opposite is happening. You're actually having them fully controlling the situation, no independent policing of the situation, but worse, protecting it. And it has to stop. Not only has to stop, people are responsible for it, need to be held to account. Genuinely. It's disgusting. These are people's lives. Anyway, see you guys.